Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Modern stream. And now that the showcase is over, we are back to our regularly scheduled content, and that means Birthday Tuesday, baby. Hell yeah. This is a deck that I haven't really touched in quite a bit right now, but this deck is based around Heartless summoning. And then it has a couple of combos going on. So where of course, Heartless Summoning is an enchantment that makes all of your creatures' spell cost 2 less, but it gives all of your creatures -1/-1. So you get to cast 4 mana Primeval Titans, you get to cast, 3 mana, Gitrog Monsters, 2 mana Dread Presences. And the idea is you accrue value by casting your early threats, and then you have a couple of ways of winning. So you have good old Dryad plus Valakut, definitely another contender here, another player in this deck. We also have access to Dread Presence, which is an interesting card. It's a 4 mana 3/3, and it is similar to Dryad plus Valakut. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you choose one. You can shock something and you gain 2 life, or you can draw a card and you lose 1 life. So you can use Dread Presence to get a ton of value. And not only does Dread Presence combo with Dryad, basically making any land drop into a shock that drains 2 or a card, but also it combos with Urborg. So Urborg in play means that every land that you play is going to be a swamp, which means that every land that you play is going to trigger Dread Presses. So you get to set up some pretty nasty turns with this card. You get to draw a million cards. You also get to draw a million cards with Gitrog Monster. So this is a card that saw some play a really long time ago, but never really picked up, particularly when it was a standard, because it has a pretty steep requirement, right? It forces you to sacrifice a land on every single upkeep. So the way that we play around that is by, of course, making a ton of land drops. So we use Explore, Grazer, Dryad, and a Suicide Ramp, but also we can use a Remnant Excavator in order to offset the downside of Gitrog Monster and to actually turn it into an upside, because we get to play an additional land on each one of our turns. And whenever one of our lands cards are put into the graveyard from anywhere, you draw a card. Also, it's a 5 mana 6/6 with Death Touch, which is pretty solid. Although Death Touch is such a random ability to have on a 6/6. It's like, why? Like, you're just huge. You're bigger than everything else. Why the hell do you have Death Touch? Anyway, whatever. We also have ways to draw cards off the top of the deck. Oh, also Gitrog allows you to play 1 additional land, which I don't know if I said that. But Courser Crucifix to draw extra cards, hopefully, and gain some life. Tracker to draw extra cards with every single land drop. The random Assassin's Trophy, which is kind of like, I didn't know what to play here, so I'm playing 1 Assassin's Trophy. I guess we can draw it. We can draw towards it against decks such as like Tron, or like against currently liberated decks. It's also an answer in the main deck to Blood Moon, which could potentially be an issue for us. Then we have the mana base, which is Bojuki Bog, a couple of caverns, basics in forests and swamp, for forest 1 swamp. Gemstone Mine, which is there mostly because we have access to Handward Battlements. So Gemstone Mine is there as a way for us to be able to haste our Primeval Titan. And it's also a green Arab and a black source. We're playing 4 Rot Farms, so we can reset Gemstone Mine. We can use Rot Farm to trigger Valakut, or to trigger Dread Presence indefinitely. And then we have a couple of one-offs in... Oh, Neutral Peatland, by the way. Also forgot about this one. Just the Canopy Land. And then a couple of one-offs in a Radiant Fountain as well. Did I miss anything? No, not really. Just Fetchlands. Fetchlands are great with Gitrog Monster, in case you didn't know. The cyber includes removal in Fatal Push and Assassin's Trophy, Thought Seizes, and a Necromancia against control/combo decks, Reclamation Sage, and Force of Vigor against decks with enchantments, artifacts, Blood Moon, Hammer Time, stuff like that. Tireless Tracker against grindy decks, Obstinate Baloth against aggressive decks. Fairly straightforward in this sideboard. Obviously, I have not played a match with this deck in a really long time, so no idea how that's gonna work out, but I imagine that after a league or two I'll have a much better understanding of where this deck sits in the metagame, and I'll be able to figure out a much better sideboard. But for now, this is what we got. If you were enjoying the content, of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you leave a like in the video. And yeah, leave me a comment if you like this deck, or if you have any ideas. I'm always eager to hear what people have to say whenever I'm trying out some new brewskis. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you for round number 1. Boom, round number 1 with black-green Heartless value nonsense. This hand is great. I think this hand is great. I'm gonna keep it. Holding on to the bog for now. We may randomly have been paired against Dredge or something. We're not paired against Dredge. That's like as far away from Dredge as it's possible to be. It's probably gonna be a rough start. It's probably gonna be rough. Unless we top deck something very good. What would be great to top deck here? Heartless summoning would be pretty sick, honestly. My opponent says Catacombs, the Amulet play this now. Maybe they always have to be fair. Okay. That's no joke, by the way. That is no joke. I'm just gonna name Giant here. It's kind of whatever. Unless my opponent's playing Mono Blue Tron. Like, if they cycle for an island here, I'm gonna get owned, but... So we're gonna get to draw a bunch of cards here. I guess I'm gonna see what my opponent does first. Redundant Urborg also works well with Gitrog Monster. Phew. My opponent's gonna look at this and be like, wait, what? Which one do you want, opponent? Which one do you want? They probably have to take Gitrog. They take Dread Presence. So that probably tells me that they have something like Coldest Dust. So we cast Gitrog, we play this. We draw a card. So play this, keep that, draw. If we find a land, that would be kind of great. Fetch land would be particularly awesome. We only have 4 fetch lands in the deck. There's only room for so much, you know. I think I'm holding on to this, though. We do have enough land drops. If they have an answer to the Gitrog Monster, that would be problematic, but if they don't, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Chalice for 1 resolves. What do you got? Damn it, man. It's also brutal that that's literally the only card in their entire deck that does anything at all. No, I didn't want to fetch. That was a misclick. I obviously did not want to fetch there. So I'm probably going to get Ghost Quarter plus Bounce Land. I'm going to take my point off Tron here. What do I think for Sadness Deck Thursday? Is that how we're calling donation deck? Juste coming back for 23 months. Big ups, my sweet Argentinian Amulet Prince. Thank you so much, Juste. Welcome back to the Primetime Struggle, man. Yeah, I did change my MTGO avatar. I'm happy that they use like a good art for the showcase thing. What I'm not happy about is the fact that it just doesn't really fit. So I was trying it right now, but like it honestly does not look particularly great. I have to be honest. Are we gonna die to this member here? We're totally gonna die to this member here, aren't we? We're totally gonna die to this member. This is the saddest timeline, chat. Such a sad timeline. Wait, what? Well, that's a blank, so that sucks. Can we draw something good? Nope. No, we cannot. Is there anything at all that saves me? No. Nothing saves me. We don't have enough mana for Dread Presence. Because I'm thinking about getting Bounce Land plus Canopy Land and then sacrificing the Canopy Land. Like replaying it and then sacking, but then I have only 3 mana and I have no more land drops left. And there's nothing that saves me at that point, so I'm just gonna pack it. I think I like something like this. Thoughtseize and Tracker are interesting. Don't think that's what I'm about. Been looking big Gargs. Yeah, big Gargs is interesting. So we get to explore Chalice for 0. That's basically a blank. That sucks. Please don't have Thought Knot, please don't have Thought Knot, please don't have Thought Knot. Or give me another Titan, that's the other thing. That's the other possibility. Am I holding on to this? I think I'm holding on to this. Because if I draw a Dread Presence or something, I'd rather have the land in hand. And I'm not going to play a second Heartless Summoning. Redundant copies of Heartless Summoning are just blanks. God damn it, man. Why do they always have the fucking Thought Knot? Where's this lit from? It's something that I I have no idea where it came from, honestly. It's been a really long time ago. Dread Presence, Pact, doesn't do anything. Just have literal nothing going on. Okay, okay. Okay. Sure, my opponent has the perfect hand too. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Dread Presence. Damn it. Alright. Not a great showing. See you for the next round. Okay. Check the disc for the Hive Mind special. The Hive Mind special. I imagine Explorer is better than turn 2 summoning. Oh, we're playing against a Sacred Foundry deck. Oh, Dredge. Okay. So if I do this, then we get to play a 1-mana Dryad, then we get to explore. We also have Pact. So even if they have, if they do find, they did find Conflagrate. That's 4 -1 +3, but they need a land. So they can't kill both Dryads. They can't kill both Dryads, and then we're gonna get to resolve Prime Time. So we could be fine here. Three, 4, 5, 6. Did look like something Blessing Kenobi would play. I haven't really watched too much of Blessing Kenobi's streams. Not really familiar with his playstyle. But it's possible. I think we're fine here. So, bounce land. Bounce land Valakut. Well, I guess we're gonna have to bog. They go face. Because we can pack for ramming up here. So they have no cards in hand. We're at 3. Okay, so I guess that the line is to prime time. Valakut plus bog. We're gonna kill. So bog on the stack goes first, so it resolves last. This kills that. This kills that. And we can attack with one of these. So we're not dead to a second Bloodgust. We untapped. You are dead. Very, very dead here, opponent. Out of here, Dredge. Out. Okay, so how do we want to sideboard? How do we want to sideboard? This card is just bad against Dredge. I think we want answers to Leyline. Just 2 answers to Leyline. Force or Rex Age are also fine, I guess. Maybe the first Rex Age is better than the second trophy. Very cool concept. It just seems like you end up playing Titan a turn later, though. It's a different deck, though. I mean, the whole point is to play a different deck. If I wanted to play Amulet and I wanted to do Amulet things, I would just play Amulet. Obviously, Amulet is better at doing Amulet things. Daddy bog. Shriekhorn. I think my opponent just forgot to mill on their end step, on my end step, I mean. Good old F6 claims another victim. Thug, Imp, Loam. Them finding a second Narcomoeba is really bad for us. We may be fine. Definitely get a bog there. It's a lot of damage, however. We get to Azusa into Courser, but we take 2 damage to do that. So their hand is Thug Loam that we know about. Thug Imp, sorry. Red mana. Oh. Say damage. Dredge Loam again. Can they set up lethal here? They may be able to set up lethal. So I'm probably going to have to chump. Yeah, I think I'm dead. We have to do that. Don't really have an out. Because otherwise we cannot cast the Primeval Titan. I guess we could have. I think we're dead. So we get Radiant Fountain plus Bounce Land. We exile their graveyard. We go up to 6. No, I guess we're technically not dead. Alright. Road Farm, Fountain. Boggy. Going down to 1 here. Going down to 1. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I can draw into a Dryad, so I think I'm supposed to explore first. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get to attack. Get another bounce land. We have 2 land drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gitrog. Swing. We go bounce land, bounce land. We bounce fountain, and we bounce the bounce land itself. We're gonna have 3 land drops, so we get to gain. Yeah, I think this is enough. Fountain. I think I cycle? Because I probably don't want to cast a trophy anyway, because it's going to cost me a life. So here we get to draw 2 cards. Up to 5, go. We don't blank their draw step because they just they put this on top and they dredge the Thug. So we're not blanking their draw step. Down to 2. Hardcast Narcomoeba. Alright. So now we win. It's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. Sup. Alright. Alright. That was not a bad draw from them either. That was not a bad draw at all. Frog, too strong. My opponent says GG's, that deck is sweet. Hell yeah, opponent, GG's. See you for the next round. Alright, welcome to round number 3. Well, this one I'm gonna ship. This one I'm gonna keep, question mark? Yuck. You know what'd be great if we would find that Urborg off the top. Urborg off the top would be sick. Agony, thank you. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome back for the 6th month. What is this? I mean, obviously it's Heartless Summoning deck. Metagame, omnipresent deck. Bittersweet, found a fan of the podcast on my league and hit the turn 3 try at game 3. Damn. Surprised you could not tell. Yeah, no, like it's just a regular member of the meta. So we know they're mono green, so I'm just gonna concede. I think I want trophies. Maybe Thoughtseizes. Yeah, this not being a giant frog is just such a flavor miss, right? By the way, I'm taking note of what just happened, right? Like I would have been able to be fine if I had a black source, but instead I had a Cavern of Souls, right? So I'm taking note of those kind of situations. Like the Cavern are very much experimental because like we have so many different types. Like I don't think that anything repeats. We have a beast, we have human monk, we have nymph dryad, we have whatever excavator is. Like nothing repeats amongst our creature types. So this is the turn 4 Titan on the play. Guess I'm gonna keep it. And the nice thing about Azusa is that if it survives, it allows us to go squatter off the prime time, which is cool. Oh, that's fine. Gracias. Guess it's also nice that if we naturally draw the Ghost Squatter, we're probably gonna be fine. How's everything? Everything's great. Having some fun playing this nonsense brew. I think it's pretty cute. It has some little combos going on, which are fun. So think I'm gonna go with turn 1 Catacombs over turn 1 Valakut. The reason for this is I'm gonna get a dual land on end step, and if I find Heartless Summoning, I don't have to fetch Shock. And if I don't, I can just play Valakut this turn. So I'm basically just saving a couple points of life by doing it like this. And next turn I'm gonna Susa. You like the idea of Dead Presence? It's cool. It's like another form of Valakut, basically. Now that we drew the Dryad, I'm gonna go for Dryad because it obviously sets up Dryad plus Titan. But this can backfire. I guess if my opponent has a Karn, this probably just backfires anyway. Because like the Azusa almost guarantees that the Titan resolves next turn. Natty Tron into Karn. Yep. And this is what could have happened, right? Like this is what I said when I played the Dryad there. Saving the basics so I can exile to the Karn plus. If my opponent has another Karn and move to 4, you know, good for them. Although I guess that if they plus, I can just cycle Peatland in response, and I still have Titan mana. They're probably gonna minus on the Rod Farm, however. Sure. So I think I have to get Bounce Land plus Ghost Quarter and Ghost Quarter them off Tron. Or we could Rot Farm plus Valakut, because we have Pact in hand. The issue with Ghost Quarter is my opponent -3 on the Titan and I'm left with nothing. So by having the Valakut in play, what I am doing is I am making it so I can Titan next turn and kill the Karn. My opponent could have Ulamog in hand, but like we're not beating Ulamog, right? There goes the prime time. Expedition map is fine. Draw a blank. Battlements, Rod Farm. Play Battlements. Haste. How is there no Jaunt Triumph, right? Ghost Squatter and Urborg? Urborg just makes Dread Presence a lot better. I could also get Peatland, which gives me a redraw, so I think I'd rather go do that. We're gonna have to pay for back this coming turn. We got some pretty good draws here. Dryad's pretty good. Raminap's pretty good. Quota doesn't even do anything right now. Well, but it makes Raminap a good draw. I am trying to maximize my draw steps. Ghost Quarter also makes Gitrog better. Well, now that my opponent searched for Sanctum, Ghost Quarter does something. But obviously my opponent has another card and they're fetching up Ulamog probably, so. Current metagame, would you swap Stacy for Gracer and Amulet? I would play Gracer. So I guess we need to find Dryad here. If we find Dryad, we're looking kind of okay. I think I'm gonna take one redraw. Waterborg doesn't do shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I guess it is just Dryad or Bust, so I'm just gonna cycle this, looking for Dryad exactly or Summoner's Pact. Doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything at all. Fuck, man. We're still in this. We're still in this. It's not over just yet. It is not over just yet. Will we get a Cyber Guide for the current build as well? I wrote a Cyber Guide 3 weeks ago, so I'm not gonna write another one. I'm not gonna write another one for at least 1 or 2 months. Like that's the problem with writing Cyber Guides for Amulet, right? It's just like the deck evolves so quickly that it's just impossible to keep up. Like I do my best, but very often my best is just not enough. The deck just evolves way too quickly. Well, now Dryad is a bad draw. So what we want to find now is Dread Presence. I'm gonna play this, but I don't think my opponent's gonna attack. So looking for Summoner's Pact, Raminap Excavator. We're looking for Dread Presence, Gitrog Monster. What else? We do have some pretty solid draws. Also, my opponent is off Tron. We're fighting the fight. we're fighting the fight. My opponent has turn 3 Carnal Liberated, turn 4 Ola's Dust. And we're still fighting the fight here. And we've been whiffing for a long time. Like we whiffed on the peatland, on the Explore, second peatland. Still kind of in it. Probably not really, but kind of in it. Take my chump there. Oblivion Stone. So many redraws. So Ursa's power plant. Their last card in hand is another Karn. They're totally gonna find the land that they need. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just know. They are playing Baby Karn, which is important to know about. They're playing Dismembers. Only one Ulemog, one Ujin. We gotta draw something here. Really gotta draw something. Gitrog Monster is gonna draw us a lot of cards. Fuck me. I can't even cast this. They're just cracking? Okay. Dread Presence, one time. How about Basic Forest? It's really sad. It's really, really sad. Yeah, got nothing. Alright, see you for the next round. Alright, round number 4. Okay. So because we mulligan, I'm going to ship the Gracer. If we're playing against an aggressive deck, obviously I would have wished I did the other way around, but it is what it is. Basic Forest, Arbor Elf. It's probably bad news for me. Okay. Those are the instructions, Groves. Blood Moon. This is still fine. So next turn we Dread Presence. We get to kill the Arbor Elf. Or draw a card. guess we're doing this again, huh? Attack. Do that again. There was an argument for playing the Dread Presence there and then next turn playing Dryad plus lands, but that exposes the Dread Presence. Like, this just dies to bolt. You have to be fucking kidding me, man. Why is Ponza on the rise? Because it just has good matchups right now. Third Blood Moon, man. You gotta be kidding me. That's hilarious. That's very funny. They can't for bridge. That sucks. Can you at least give me a Dryad off the top? At least give me a Dryad off the top. Come on. Come on. Oh, basics work. Ah. I think I'm gonna draw. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Pew. And get to draw a card. We get to trophy that. Got him! What's going on, opponent? Do you need help finding the concede button? Is that what's going on? Do you need help finding the concede button? Oh, yeah. Oh, of course! They're salty enough in chat. How could I not think about this? Fucking joke. Better lucky than good. Mwahaha. No skill. Wahahaha. Of course. Do you need help finding the concede button? I'm not gonna, but yes. I'm definitely excited about that. The problem is if I answer, we're just gonna be stuck here because my opponent's just not gonna concede anymore, so. That was great though. I enjoyed that. That was thoroughly enjoyable. I don't think we want to Susan this matchup. Yeah, playing Ponza and getting mad is just like, really? For real? Is that what's going on right now? Gitrog Monsters sounds busted against Ponza. Dead Presence, baby. Dread Presence, Courser, Dryad. You love to see it. Gitrog is not a beast, he's a frog horror. Which is unfortunate. Fetch land. Easy. So easy. So easy. Are we set to go on Thursday? Very much so, Ash. Very much so. Gitrog is unaffected by Thing in the Eyes. Huh. Very important factor. I really wish I could get a basic swamp here, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to be possible. I think I really need to find a basic forest. Psychoth coming back for the 24th month. 2 full years. Thank you for the support, Psychoth. Again, Cavern being super awkward. I think that we cannot afford to play Cavern in this deck. I think playing Cavern is a mistake, so I'm gonna be cutting it for future versions of this deck. If I play Rod Farm, that's not gonna work out well for me, isn't it? Just gonna name Centaur here. Oh no, I should have named Dryad actually, because now my opponent can pillage my basic. Like, I don't think I want to play the Rod Farm because I don't want to expose this to pillage, and I don't want to get Blood Moon because that puts me behind the land drop. I can, but it's just not great in terms of my mana usage. But now if they pillage my basic, that's a problem. Yep. Yeah, I got by this Cavern twice already. Like, I'm gonna cut it. It's just not good. Basic or like forest? No. Yeah, now we're time walking ourselves. Like, this is just devastating. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're gonna lose this game because of that mistake. Because we would have forced the Chandra to minus. We would be 2 life ahead now. Yeah, that was a poor play on my part. That was just poor play on my part. Going down to 2. Yeah, it's too late for that one. Dryad. Dryad. Land. Courser. I doubt that this is gonna be enough. Oh, it is not enough. They just killed it with the Chandra. Yeah, this is not enough. If I had gone Dryad, Courser, Dryad, then I wouldn't have been able to play both. I knew to play the Dryad first because it replaced itself. My opponent brought at least 3 Flame Slash. That's a lot of Flame Slashes. This is fine. But I needed the extra lander that I got off the Dryad to cast the Courser, because this is green, so this doesn't get a 2 mana discount from the summoning. It only gets 1 mana discount. Just gotta find the frog. If we find the frog, we're gonna be good to go. We can frog him. Thank you for the follow, Master Chicken. It would be awesome to beat Salty opponent. Force would be a nice draw. Fetch land's probably the best draw. I don't think that mulligan is gonna help me too much though. We do have the combo though. When it keeps 7. There is the possibility I should bring it in push in a matchup like this. I don't think so though. Fetch. It's not very good. Not very good. We can pact for Rex Sage. There's also Raminap, there's Tracker in the deck. I'm not feeling great about my spot. I do think that I was supposed to keep this hand, but I'm not feeling good about my spot. Maybe I should have some number of engineered explosives in the sideboard. That's another interesting card. Could help against like shadow matchups and whatnot. Particularly because I'm not playing any 1-drops. Never bring a list of anything without explosives. It's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. Can we play this game today, opponent? Assist score, think of a follow. Like if you are salty and then you're also like taking forever to do this, like you're just holding priority in like the most random spots, like you have to give me a break with something, right? I'm delaying the choice with the cavern a little bit here. Oh, come on. Really? You have an upkeep stop? You're playing Ponza, opponent. You don't need to think. You're just playing Ponza. You're just remove that stop. It's worthless to you. The guy's fine. It's whatever. It's a clock. Oops, sorry. An extra land drop there is brutal. So I'm not gonna be able to go for Shrine App. Sad face. Liquid metal coating. We don't have second green source, which is important. We're gonna do a Hail Mary here, I guess. Oh no, 1 mana short. Oh fuck, I'm 1 mana short. I thought this was 1 mana. F's in chat. Alright, see you for the next round. Alright, last round. I'm already thinking about a bunch of changes that I would make to the list to make it a little bit better. But yeah, definitely we got twice with Cavernous Souls, so like I'm just not gonna be playing Cavernous Souls anymore. It was kind of an interesting thought process, but in practice it just doesn't work. That's a Gitrog monster. Yes, yes it is. What's the goal of this brew? What do you think the goal is? Because what you think the goal is the goal of this brew. Whatever you may think the goal is, it is exactly what it is. One mana off Gitrog. Brutal. I imagine I'm probably dead here. I think it's fine to fetch here. Draw a card. Turbo draw. Slave beat land. Draw 2. Jeez. Okay. All right. I guess that's what's going on. Play your Borg. No, we can't pact. So if my opponent has 2 instant speed, yeah, we're just dead here. All right. It's probably fine. All right, this one's actually pretty solid. So let's keep this one. Shuffle that. Research neat. And now that we drew Gracer, we don't need to hold that push. So we can get that out of the way. Next turn we can crew fix into land. Which is pretty cool. Seal of 5. Oh. Well. That is so bad. That is so incredibly bad. But obviously it's great here. Obviously it's very, very good here. But like this card is just embarrassingly bad. A classic modern matchup. It is. It is. As old as time. And we, of course, draw a bunch of blanks. Because why wouldn't we draw a bunch of blanks? Right, chat? Why wouldn't we draw a bunch of blanks? Okay, not good. Not a first good league, but we're going to be making some changes. Number one, we're adding Gargoyle. Number two, we're just cutting those Cavern of Souls. Those were heinous. Those were so freaking bad. What else do we got? The Asusa was not great. So we can add potentially another Courser. Extra fetch land is gonna be solid. You punted by not getting paired against Dredge, yeah. We could throw one big Gargs in the main deck. And I feel like I said engineered explosives. Engineered explosives. At least we want one of those. What else? We could have an extra copy of Ghost Squatter maybe in the sideboard for the Tron matchup or whatever. Is Reclaimer too greedy because that seems real good with Gitrog? Yes, it is. I would think that it is. We could brew a Reclaimer version, but it would be like a completely different story. What was the final conclusion about the BTL deck? I think it's very good, but I didn't get it to a point where I was happy with it. Weather the Storm. I think a Weather the Storm is just a bad card. I think it's fine against Burn, but I think that it's really bad against Prowess. And I'm a lot more worried about having a good Prowess matchup than a good Burn matchup. Or like I'd rather my Cyber guys help me against Prowess than Burn. Would be more accurate. What else? What else? What else? I could see it not playing 4 prime times. Just playing 3. And maybe that makes room for one more Gracer? One more Courser. What about Duress? I think Thoughts is just better. Like, I'm not bringing in Duress against Prowess. I think it's just bad. Chalice could be good. Yeah. Chalice is kind of interesting. The problem with Chalice is that like my Gracers become bad at that point, but it could be okay. I mean, let's try it. Why not? So I guess we cut these sideboard cards. And we can use Brutality as discard. It's kind of a big yikes, but and then we can have Decay. Ooh, Dismember's good. Something like this. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Yeah, let's take something like that for a spin. Do you really have to give up Graces to play Chalice? Graces is there for turn 1 anyway. That's a number too badly with Chalice. Well, they are good against the same decks, right? So, and I don't think this deck can really afford to have that many, like, all of these cards are just heinous in multiples. Like, they are basically blanks in multiples. I don't think that you can have even more blank pieces of virtual cardboard in this deck. Or you're just gonna have a bad time. So let's give this a shot, see what happens. That's gonna be it for this league though, obviously. So we're gonna be trying out another league with this list that you see right here. So check that one out. I'll see you there, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Bye bye.